You know what's really important, I think, when it comes to doing makeup or being on someone's person is how your hands smell. Because your hand is right in the person's face, right? So like, you wanna make sure it doesn't smell like your tuna sandwich you just ate or some chicken you just had or, you know, butt thumb is what I call it, when it's just like, did they not wash their hands all the way after they was, you know, at the restroom and now you wanna put that hand in my face? That's nasty. Cause you gotta wash the back of your thumb too, cause just make sure you wash like this and then like this too. Like that's important cause that part is mostly in the face. And make sure your wrists are clean and all that and you smell good. And if you eat something, if you don't eat something, if you forget to brush your teeth, if you got like a lot of hate in your heart or whatever, make sure you have something. Keep your breath fresh because you're gonna be talking to this person, breathing in their vicinity. And I mean, yeah, you don't want like, cause like maybe you as a makeup artist might smoke weed, but your client doesn't smoke weed, so they might not want to smell that. Or maybe both y'all smoke weed together, like, what up, you know, and that's cool. But, you know, you want to make sure you got some good hygiene popping off. I was doing this play one time, and they had to have an emergency backup makeup person come in. A substitute came in, right? And she was cool, she was a nice person. You know, we laughed, whatever, kiki. But then the next day, she was doing my makeup and I was like, for sure, her hands smelled like a sneeze. It just smelled like it was a lot of bacteria, like not, just like she went like that, hey, you, okay? Like, it was not okay with me, and I asked her if she could, like, you know, I told her, like, the average person might not tell you, they just bear with the smell, and then they just never bring you back again, or they try to get you fired or whatever, if it's a production or something like that. But I asked her, I was like, can you please, like, wash your hands or maybe some hand sanitizer, because your hand smells like a sneeze. And she was like, girl, you crazy, you so funny. And I was like, no, for real, I don't want you touching my face anymore until you, like, wash up. And so she went and washed her hands and then she was talking bad about me or whatever, but I don't care. Don't nobody want no sneezy hand in their face, especially now, like, ew. So, yeah, and she has never worked with me again since. I made sure of that.
So the lesson, the point of that lesson is hygiene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah? Hygiene is everything, okay? Hygiene is king.
I don't necessarily have the luxury of having the face and the body two different complexions. So you have to think about the conversation of complexion should start from their forehead to their toes, not just on their face. I need to make sure that I'm looking at the body. I want the toes to be illuminated and moisturized. The ankles, the knees, their calves should have coverage if they need it. If there's a split, I'm on my assistants and myself, we're always looking at the body everywhere. Anywhere there's an inch of skin out, we're looking at all. So if you look at that and you pay attention to that, you guys will be in a good place.
But can I get some lotion? Because I'm ashy as hell.
Bam, here we go. See, on deck.
Thank you. That's good artists right there. They always got the moisturizer.
The good ones too.
Mm-hmm. They got the good moisturizer, not the hotel room moisturizer. That was name brand. That was good.
Also, one thing is you guys started to get into a place where a lot of foundations photograph differently. So, you know, don't wait till the day to test out a new foundation. If it's a big event, if it's a big day for her, it's a big day for you. And so that means that don't wait till that day to see, oh, does this foundation have SPF? SPF is gonna flash back at the cameras and their face will always appear whiter. So make sure that you test those things out before. Test them out on yourself, or a friend. And then when you get to the job, you can just go right into cruise control.
Can I revisit one thing real quick? Mm-hmm. You know, I know I was saying about hygiene and everything and keeping the breath fresh, but try not to chew gum in the client's face either. That's annoying, especially if you're smacking when you chew.
So just mint.
Yeah, mints. Mm-hmm. I mean, but chewing gum in somebody's face, I don't know, do you mind if somebody chew gum right in your face? It's kind of annoying.
Yeah. So when you're just starting out, how do you know how many brushes to bring a set? How do you know what your kit needs, I guess? So for me, in terms of kit needs, I rather bring a lot of brushes. Guys, you know I love a lot of brushes. So I have like 850 brushes, but some of them I've had since I was 19. You know, some of them I've had since the first day I started doing makeup. And so they're just there as like little reminders. But, you know, brushes are my safety. So I'm safe with a lot of brushes. But a lot of people don't necessarily need them, but clients like to see them, you know? So make sure that you invest in good skincare for your clients. Make sure that a lot of times they don't have time to try things new. So you're gonna be a vehicle for them to see new skincare, new, you know, chemical peels, new brushes, new things that are happening in beauty. So if you're the vehicle to make that happen, you have to make sure that you guys are trying out new things as well. That also means reach out to companies, you know, reach out to brands and see, hey, listen, I'm working with this client. And don't use the client, but just make sure that they know I'm shooting something, I'm doing something. Let me test this out for you. Invest in yourself.
What are your go-to skincare products for your clients?
So everyone has, my go-to skincare products for my clients changes, just like it changes for myself. So I have different skincare regime in the summer, and then if I travel to a cooler climate, it'll be different as well. So I try to make sure I have something for everyone. Something for a person who's dry, something for a person who's oily, something for a person who has very sensitive skin. I'll make sure that it's fragrance-free. And then if someone doesn't like moisturizer altogether, I'll give like a fine mist and I'll go directly into foundation.
Okay, so how do you go about having your client not trust the products that you're bringing or want to use the products that you're bringing, but you need your products to exceed the look that you're going for?
Yeah, so that's happened to me a few times.
Or you're only comfortable with the products that you practice with your product, you know your products, and your client's like, hey, I don't use that moisturizer, I only use this, I only use that, and that's fine, but how do you go about like, adjusting to that right then and there?
So it's always a dance, and when I say dance, I have two theories. I always like to say, I like to bring women into my world instead of going into their world. When I say that, I see a lot more skincare, I know what's happening, 9 times out of 10, more so than they do. But I'm not asking them to trust me, but I have to build that trust up. So that trust isn't something that you tell them, it's something that you show them. You show them that basically either having good products, having great recommendations, and also if someone talks to you about something that's working for their skin, believe them. If they say, hey, I got this from the dermatologist and this works on my acne, or this got rid of me, rid of a redness or I'm peeling, believe them and actually use that. And 9 times out of 10, you may learn something from that in that moment. Cool. It's one of those games, it's back and forth. There's so much elasticity in learning from your client. I learned so much from the women I'm around. I'm here because of the knowledge that they've given me as well.
Yeah, I've had clients who I'll show up and they're like, this is the foundation I'm using, and the foundation's like 6 shades lighter, and it's like, oh, girl. And I've had people give me products where it's skincare products, and then I go and put my foundation on, and the foundation's like peeling off, or the foundation's not really gripping the skin like I know I could make it grip, and it's just like, right then and there, I guess you learn different techniques, but there's, sometimes it's just a little complicated because it's like, I know what my products would do.
I hear you. As long as she knows that you're dedicated to giving her the attention she needs and really are trying, I think that you'll be in a good place.
When it comes to me working with the makeup artist and maybe they're doing something on my face and I can't see it right away, and then I see the finished result and it is not what I wanted, or it does not look like me at all, which has happened to me quite a few times. Like I would do these comedy shows in different states, and like me thinking like, oh, I'm gonna give people an opportunity and I'm gonna put some money in their pocket, I would hire local makeup artists to do my makeup, right? And then they would come in and I'm like, have you seen some of my Instagram pics? Have you seen this? And like I want a simple look, but I'm on stage, so you gotta make my eyes pop and keep the brows kind of simple, and I love lashes. And then I'll look in the mirror, and I remember this one person did my makeup, and I was like, this person had just learned, obviously, how to put eyeshadow on. I could have done a better, I should have done a job. And I looked at them and I said, this is not gonna work. And they're like, what? I did an amazing job. I'm like, no, I'm gonna tell you, this is not acceptable. It's not gonna work. I'm gonna need my eyes to pop more. I need, the foundation needs to kind of match my neck. It needs to not look like I'm chalky, or like just, like I just wanna put lotion all over this and just go out with nothing. I don't like it. I just don't like it. And That's why I laughed when you were talking about pay, because I feel like if I do not like anything about this, I should not pay for this, you know, because I'm gonna go wash this off. Like, I'm not going on the stage with this on. And then they were like, okay, let me try to fix it. So I let them try to fix it. And then I looked back in the mirror again. I said, now I'm 25 minutes late. There's an audience full of people waiting for me. And this is ugly. I don't like it. And so I wiped my face off. I re-glued some lashes on that I had brought myself and put on some lip gloss, and I was supposed to give them, like, I paid, I think, well, and so I just gave them like 25% of what I would have paid them in full, just for showing up. But that's me being nice. I feel like the average person would be like, I'm not paying for this, and I'm about to wash my face, and no. Like, it really messed with me. Like, I get emotional when I think about it, because now I have to go stand in front of, 2,000 people and make them laugh. And I feel like I just wasted an hour and 15 minutes and I'm late, So it's like not okay. And they were already 15 minutes late getting there. So I feel like I should have known right in that moment, do your own shit. But sorry for cussing, do your own stuff. But yeah, that was hard. That was hard on my spirit.
To Tiffany's point, do you understand how emotional cosmetics are? It's so emotional. Like, it's so emotional that it covers something, it reveals something, it shows who they are or where they are, what station in life. Tiffany's working out, she's feeling herself, she's having a good moment in life right now. That should be reflected in her glam, that should be reflected in her team. So it's honestly, you guys are such a parallel or direct correlation to how she wants to feel. And so, like, that's why it's emotional. That's why cosmetics are something that...
But what if I'm feeling bad? I might be feeling bad in a dark place, but I still have to do this job. So I still need you to make me look like I feel amazing. She looks amazing. Not like, damn, is she about to do a circus show or something? Why she look like a clown? Like, that made me look like, ooh, an ashy clown.
And guys, also, sometimes clients are tricky. Sometimes you'll have a client and they're, like us all. We are sometimes, on a Tuesday, we might be in an amazing mood. On that Friday, you meet the same person and they might be in a completely different...
Because they just broke up with their dude, you know what I'm saying? Or their uncle passed away, or, somebody done stole some money from them. You don't know what could have happened.
But it's not about you. And it's not about you. If you know that you're consistent in your artistry, if you're consistent in making sure that your hygiene is great, you're clean, you're on time, hopefully, it's possibly just leave them to their own devices and hopefully they'll come back. But clients sometimes they're just like us. We go through moods and we don't want to be judged on our moods just because we're having an off day or a bad day. So just allow them that sense of that bandwidth. They need that as well.
Especially if you're dealing with some minor crazy people. I've worked with them before. Mm-hmm. They're just a little bipolar.
I think we all have. Trust me, I have. Definitely have.
But actresses and, comedians, and we can be interesting. I'm not bipolar. I'm moody as fuck.
There's a difference. It's a difference. Something I want to point out to you guys is that it's a massive difference between a red carpet, an editorial, and a concert. So they all have different lighting. They're all different venues. There's a different atmosphere. The wardrobe is even different. So, like, if Tiffany's going to, say if she's going to the Met Ball, or say if she's going to, like, the Vanity Fair party after the Oscars, I'm going to be really strategic in how I highlight her. I want to make sure it's classic. I want her to look at those photos 30 years from now and feel as relevant as she did in that moment. But if it's a concert, we can have a little bit more fun. If I know she's doing a tour, we're going to do the same thing every day, and she's going to wear different dresses. Let's have fun every night. So it's a different sensibility. But you got to have that dialogue with your client. You should know what the wardrobe looks like. When you guys get to your client's house, go take a look at the clothing. Go take a look at what's the hair going to be like. Where are you going? How do you feel? So the first thing I do when I get to a client's house is I don't go directly and open up the makeup bag. I want to check in with her and make sure how are you feeling? What's your vibe like today? Because have this big plan on, I want to do this and I'm going to do this, but she just may feel like a lipstick and a lash and that's it, you know? So check in with her, do a temperature check. That's it.
Oh, and it's a big difference between like movie, like when you're doing like acting stuff, like TV, movie, because they'll adjust the lights for the makeup, and then you just have to maybe a little highlighter here, a little highlighter there. But when you go on the red carpet, it's like there is no light control, okay? And it's like boom, 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 flash, flash, flash. And sometimes you get really good ones, and sometimes you look like a ghost. So.
And that goes back to trial and error and knowing complexions. And a lot of times when you work with women of color, not a lot of times, all the time, when you work with women of color, there is no trial and error. You should have an idea of what the lighting is going to look like. You know, you should know what's flattering. You should know that we're all a bit brighter in the center and we pick up more sun around the perimeter of our face. That's just something that we should all know.
Yeah, and I feel like what you're doing right now is like makeup that I would wear like in an interview. You know, like I got my little blazer on.
You haven't seen it though yet.
Well, I can see. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can see.
No.
You know, I step outside myself, look at what you're doing to me, and then be like, okay, get back in. You're doing a good job.
Yeah, so this could be for TV. This looks like kind of like what we did the other day. This could be for TV. This could be for like if she was going on, she could be going to Ellen. She could be going on a date. She could be going to do, but not like, this wouldn't be like a red carpet. But it could be if she was, you know, going for that, if she wanted to reference that and say, hey, pull this look up that I did the other day. I felt really pretty in that. That's it. You want to go with whatever the woman or the guy or whoever, go with their comfort level. And so when I always say bring them into your world. Yes, bring them into your world, show them your aesthetic, but create the vibe that they feel comfortable with. The worst thing that they can do is go in the bathroom and take off your makeup. That's just not what you want to happen.
But I'm rude. I'll do it in front of you. And be like, this eye ain't right. Is that rude of me? I don't know. I'm paying a lot of money. I feel like you got to do that.
I mean, you haven't done it to me, so we straight.
Yeah, because you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing.
You know, it has happened to me before. When I first started touring, my client would take the brush and show me what she liked. And I'm like, okay, cool, show me. Because I need a shortcut as well. I want to know what you know so we don't have to do this again.
Yep. And they might have been wearing makeup longer than you've been doing makeup.
Absolutely right. Okay, cool. So we're almost there, guys.
Dang, I got to stop being so rude. I shouldn't take it off in front of them.
When we look at women of color and knowing that every woman, every person, I always say, it doesn't matter if you're from Harlem or Hong Kong, you can be from Amsterdam or Brooklyn, you should always invest in more than one foundation. So you should never have one foundation in your arsenal, period. Because at times, whatever your summer foundation can be a bronzer in the winter. Whatever your winter foundation can be a highlighter in the summer. So making sure that you invest in more than one foundation, and not just because of the texture, but also because of the coverage. So at times you want to have a sheerer sense of, skin. At times, like right now, Tiffany's skin looks amazing. So she's like, hey, I just want to wear a tinted moisturizer. And she should have the option to do that in the color that she needs. But what if she needs a little bit more coverage because she's going to a big dinner? So you should have those already, laid out for yourselves. So and also what I like to do is I like to carry a lot of concealers. Concealers are a really quick way to give yourself a lot of coverage and just dial it down where you don't want to, So just making sure you mix your concealers with moisturizer, and that's a really nice hack to having a big kit, but packing really small. So there's no rhyme or reason when it comes to doing something first. So there's a rule of thumb, and a lot of people, old school makeup artists, I'll say it like that, they like to do the whole face first. The skin first, they put powder under the eyes, and then they do the eyes first. So I started doing makeup in fashion, back in Fashion Week. So we have 3 artists on a girl. The girl has, they're pulling her out of the seat to hit the runway, so we always start with eyes. I start with eyes, clean up any excess underneath the eyes with makeup remover, some kind of water-based makeup remover, and then I go into complexion. For me, that's the best way to do it. It's the easiest way, and also, if she's mature, if she's a bit older, you get a chance to lift the eyes when you do the eyes first and do the concealer last.
I like when they do my eyes, because it's like an eyeball massage, if they don't do it too hard. Usually we schedule like 2 to 3 hours for hair and makeup total, and in my mind, I would like makeup to be like 45 minutes to an hour. Anything more than that, and then I'm just thinking like, well, how ugly am I today? Like what What could you possibly be doing? When it takes me 25 minutes to do the makeup and I'm an unprofessional, you a professional, I'm thinking, come on now. Come on. Yeah, when you know, an hour and like 30 minutes goes by and they still working on my makeup, yeah, I'm feeling like, you know, maybe we've been talking too much or they slow as hell.
That's a red flag, guys.
I noticed that you are not doing the traditional what everyone does these days in terms of baking with loose powder, and your technique is a little different. Is there a preference or a reason?
Yeah, so I don't
Why?
really bake, I like to cook.
Okay.
So when I say I don't bake, I cook, that means I don't believe in a lot of powder. I feel like powder is aging, and anyone who needs a lot of powder's okay for TV, but really healthy skin is not that. If you just left the gym, if you had great sex recently, if you have a glow, it usually has a luster. So if you use a lot of powder, it doesn't always look healthy, it doesn't look youthful.
And it get caught up in your forehead creases and then it look like cake lined in. It's gross. And under your eyes, yeah, I don't like that.
It's not sexy. There's time and a place for it, but it's just not necessarily needed all the time. But what I do love, guys, is I love loose powder. I think loose powder is really great because it doesn't settle anywhere. It looks great on TV. It's really forgiving for different complexions. So it's great for women of color as well.
So what you do with your loose powder is basically just touch it up with your brush.
I use the most minimal version of powder I can. If I can get by with like just a dab in the center of the T-zone, then I'm in a good place. But,
feels so good.
But for a big event, like if it's a big thing, like a show, you know, I'm gonna go, you know, I'll go in a bit more. And that's when I'll say, go back to the rules of doubling up, creams and powders of everything.
When doing makeup, what is the proper placement of hands and how to keep the client comfortable so that they feel as though you're not like moving their face around or positioned on their face?
So Scott, that's a really, really amazing question because, so I don't press hard with brushes, and there's no reason anyone who's doing makeup needs to apply pressure in any area, especially if you're working in an ocular area. So the eyes are so sensitive. The eyes are an area that you want to make sure that you are as gentle as possible. You should be a breeze of air around the eyes. And so when I say that, so you don't obstruct their thinking, if they come in, if they intuit you coming in all the time, it's just gonna be a bad situation. So for me, just making sure that either I have my hand on their shoulder, I'll slightly, possibly, maybe tap the top of their head to keep their faces still if they're talking or if they're moving a lot. And if I really need to get aggressive, when I'm saying aggressive, I say aggressive like, I'll give you an example. Coachella, we were behind, in quick change during Coachella, everything's being ripped off, we're moving. So I have to literally get in there and I have to hold her jaw still because she's expecting me to hold on. And she's holding my arm so they put her shoes on. In those cases, you can get in, but you're familiar with your client at that point. So, but I'm not gonna hold her jaw here like that today. I don't think you want me to.
Not my thing. But if you need to, because I'm bobbing, because I'm falling asleep, do what you got to do.
But also, like, for example, Tiffany fell asleep in the trailer the other day. We were working together. And you know what I did? Just so I put a pillow, and I wanted her to sleep so I can get the eyes done. So multitask. When her eyes are closed, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get the eyes done while she's sleeping, put a pillow back here, and then just work backwards, you know? So just make sure you're working all around her in a way where when she gets to a place where she's ready to go, she can go. But just don't apply too much pressure, guys. That's the kiss of death. Is that something that you notice at all?
Yeah.
About people?
Yeah, I could tell right away, like, as soon as they start like touching my face, I'm like, oh, this one's a heavy-handed. This one's heavy-handed. And then I'll be like, can you do a little lighter on the touch, please? Like, cause it be hurting. Like, I don't have like thick skin on my face. It's my face. Like, and I understand the whole beating of the face, but I don't want to feel beat up. And especially if I've been working a lot of hours and I'm tired,
Your face is sensitive.
And so my skin is so sensitive. If I've been like going every day, and I understand you got to do what you got to do to make me look good, but it might come to a certain point where I'm just like, please just stop touching me. Just don't touch me no more. Like, I need you not to touch me for a minute. Remember the other day? It was like, we had to wait.
But it wasn't because I was rough.
No,
it was
wasn't.
because it was 4 o'clock call time in the morning, right? It was 4 a.m. call time. Come on, give him
It was
context.
a 4 a.m. call time. I had to do 20 interviews in like an hour and a half. and we was like on interview, like 15 or 17, interview 17, and he came in to touch me up, and like people was pulling on me, brushing my hair, whatever, and then I was like, and he was just fixing one little thing, and I was like, I'm gonna need you to stop touching me. And he was like, uh-huh.
Because I thought she was joking.
I had to, because when I am serious, I look you dead in your eyeballs, and I was like, I'm gonna need you to stop touching me. And you went, and I was like,
oh, she's serious. She's like, oh, you're serious right now.
yeah, I'm gonna need you to stop. Like,
but guys,
because I was so irritable, and then I have to, you know.
It was cold in the studio.
Yeah, it was freezing cold. I was sleepy, and I'm presenting, you know, I have to keep in mind all the stuff I have to say about these products and blah, 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 and the project I'm working on. And like, so it's a lot on my mind. So sometimes, I mean, I feel like any person, like,
Absolutely.
when you got 700 things you got to keep in your head, you don't necessarily want somebody touching on you, but you need them to. And I've been in situations where I just don't want to be touching her, like, Tiffany, I have to. And I'm like, okay.
But guys, a lot of people, like Tiffany's okay in glam, but I have a lot of clients who, some women love glam, and you know, as in California, different cities are different things. And then I have some clients who hate the chair, no matter how pleasant the experience is. And in those times, it's like a double dutch. You want to just jump in and jump out. I want to get in as much as possible and then get out. And then also, a lot of times, hair takes up a lot of space. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Hair takes up a lot of time, especially in my world. So I always like to do this, and this is the rule of thumb. This is for me to you guys. It's a little trick I do. I stand outside. I want everyone else to see, all the production, all the PR, see that I'm not in there yet. So my clock is not starting. So because everyone likes to blame hair and makeup for everyone being late. Usually. That's real talk.
Always.
So I always stand outside. You guys know I only had 22 minutes. So just get into a habit of making sure that you have witnesses for how much time you have had. Just from me to you.
You need somebody to testify.
Okay, cool. So we are almost there. You want a lash, right? Yeah, you do.
You know I want a lash.
know.
I like a pretty lash.
So this is a thing I always do is tight line. It always makes the lashes look really dense. Even if she doesn't have any, even if I didn't put a lash on, it would make them look like she just has thick, huge lashes growing from the root. And so it's kind of my thing I always do. It's annoying, it doesn't always feel good, like people don't like it, but it works really well. Okay. But make sure it's waterproof though. So guys, in terms of clients, when you find clients that you love, you often become, it's hard to not feel attached to them. So I'm gonna be honest, it's hard to stay professional at times when you're like, oh my God, I love this person so much, I just wanna turn up with them. Oh my God, I love them so much, they want me to have some drinks with them after work. So should I? But there's a fine line, there's a balance. So even if I love Tiffany to death, even though I'm saying this, but if Tiffany asked me to go drinks, I'll go drinks. But you have to realize that you have to always stay professional, and you want them to see you as the professional. You don't want them to see you as the homie, because they will look at your artistry differently. And I've learned that. I've seen so many other people turning up and just having too much fun, and they have always regretted it in the end,
Never anybody I worked with that I turned up with.
Not you, but
I'm
I'm
just
talking about
saying.
like a younger breed of
Because I don't play that. I don't party with people that don't do good work.
Yeah, but no, not you, but it happens, trust me. You guys have any horror stories? Have you heard anything like this ever?
I've had it happen to me.
Yeah? Tell us, what does that look like for other people?
So basically it's like, you come in, like you start off with like a professional setting, but you and your client get so comfortable with touring and traveling, and you out every day after tour, you turning up, they just get so comfortable and accustomed to you that they just feel as though the same respect that they was giving you in the beginning is not there anymore. So it's like very much not a professional setting anymore. It's more of like a friendship now. So kind of mess up the business.
everybody becomes my friend. But I still be about that money, though. We not playing no games with that money, though. That's first. But also, I personally feel like, this is just me. I don't want to get money with people that's not my friends. If I can't be a friend with you, then. I mean, I ain't got to be the friend that's at your house all the time or calling everything. But, you know, just, it's good. It's a vibe. Yes, healthy boundaries.
That's a good point.
And I got that with my best friends. You got to have your boundaries, okay? People I know since I was 12, we got boundaries.
Tell me about that too.
Yeah.
So let's get some lip gloss and we're done, basically.
Okay.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, Lola.
I love a good lash. Maybe she's born with it.
How do you feel, Tiffany? Do you feel like when you're getting closer to finishing your makeup, even though there's no mirror, that you can feel that and your energy starts to shift?
Well, you definitely, energy starts shifting and you can fit. Once the lashes come on, you know the weight of it all. You start from the knee, you look and you go, okay. I like that. You know what you got to do about that mole, though.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Yeah. I feel like every client has like their little thing. Like I'm a makeup artist. Every client has their niche, their thing that they feel like has to be done. Like mine is like I hate my mole being covered. I love my mole to be uncovered. I don't like it looking like it's a skin bump. Let it look like what it is, a mole. So I always remind him, and when he come to touch me up, I'm like, oh, what my mole doing? Like that's one thing I will let you get on it. He'd be like, the mole? Oh, get it. Even if I'm in a bad mood, get them all. Like, yeah. But I'm feeling good. I like this. She ready. Uh-huh. You're gonna need to get that mold just a little bit more.
You got plans for the day?
Right, I was just gonna ask that.
Nah, you gotta do something now.
About to be on, let me shut up. Start my OnlyFans page today. Classy Ratchet, hello. Welcome to Clatchet classes.
You are a best. You want a Q-tip?
It's you. It's you. Pretty girl, you did a good job.
Thank you, babe. I appreciate it. All right, here's some mascara, and we're done. Chin back, and close your eyes. Close.
When you're finishing the face, like, what is your overall feeling? Like, once it's done, what is going through your body and your mind?
I want to get out as quickly as possible. Basically, no, seriously, when I'm done, I want to go. Yeah. But for me, I just want to make sure, I'm really OCD, so I'm still not done until she's either finished. Once she's I'm done when either she's hit the carpet, I'm still tweaking as she's walking the set. Like if you notice, she'll have to tell me to stop because I'll see holes and I'll see things. I'm really hypercritical of my job. I want to be so hypercritical because I don't want them to have to worry about anything. They don't worry because we worry. Like,
when you finish, do you ever like step back and be like, damn, like that shit look good as shit? Like,
I do it when I see photos.
Okay.
When not in person, I always wait till like it comes out. Like after the red carpet, you're like, okay, it's time to go to drinks, guys. Let's go.
I did that.
But not until I see the proof. I need to see the proof, which is either the show or I need to see how it translates. Because I could have a beautiful glam session in the chair, but if the lighting is not right, if we get on set and the photographer doesn't know how to light black women, it's gonna be a problem. So also I'll have that fight with the photographer. So if you notice, we were on set, I'm the one talking to the photographers and they're like, oh, I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for 20 years. I've talked to big major photographers who have been doing this since the 60s and who are like, I don't wanna mention any names, but they're like, who are you? Get out of here. But I need to make sure that she's good. I don't care if you hire me back, because you possibly won't anyway, but I need to make sure that she feels comfortable. That's it. So in conclusion, this is Celebrity Etiquette with Tiffany Haddish.
makeup etiquette. There's a whole lot of other etiquettes we could cover in celebrity, but this
Makeup
one
etiquette.
is on makeup.
Yes.
That's gonna be hilarious.
That's good.